Picture this. A film so spine-tingling that actual scientific data crowns it the most frightening ever made. And it's right there on Hulu, waiting for you to hit play. If you've been searching for chills that go beyond mere opinions, get ready to dive into Sinister, the 2012 horror classic that's backed by real research. But here's where it gets controversial. Is science the ultimate judge of what scares us? Or does personal fear trump data? Let's unpack this together, shall we? Over the past few years, we've seen some truly petrifying releases hit the screens. Think of 2023's Skinamarink, a haunting tale that's earned rave reviews for its unsettling vibes. You can check out more on /film here. https:/film.com/116564. Skinamarink is an early contender for the scariest horror movie of 2023. Or the notoriously brutal Terrifier 3 with its relentless clown terror. Read the review at https:/film.com/www.terrifier3 Art the Clown Horror Movie Review. Yet, despite their reputations, these films rely on subjective thrills. No hard evidence to back up their scare factor. Enter Sinister, directed by Scott Derrickson and co-written with former critic C. Robert Cargill. Starring Ethan Hawke as true crime author Ellison Oswald. This supernatural horror isn't just terrifying. It's been scientifically proven to spike heart rates like no other. And this is the part most people miss. While claims of scariest ever are always personal, Sinister combines psychological depth with visual dread that's tough to shake off. If you haven't braved it yet, a Hulu subscription opens the door, if you're brave enough. To set the scene for newcomers, Sinister follows Oswald, a writer whose best-selling days are fading. Desperate for another blockbuster, he takes a drastic step, relocating his family to a house with a gruesome history. Specifically, the prior residents were hanged, literally strung up, and he keeps this dark detail hidden from his loved ones. This setup makes Sinister more than just jump scare fest. It's a gripping character study of ambition gone awry, showing how one man's obsession with success can endanger those he cares about most. For beginners exploring horror, think of it as a reminder that sometimes the real monsters lurk in human flaws, not just the shadows. As Oswald settles in, he uncovers a trove of old home movies stashed in the attic. What starts as innocent footage quickly reveals itself as snuff films, gruesome recordings of families being murdered in the same house across decades. Adding to the terror, he uncovers a malevolent, supernatural force pulling the strings behind these killings. His investigation drags him deeper into peril, blurring the lines between reality and nightmare. Sounds intense, right? But believe me, the dread kicks in from the very first moments. Take the opening sequence, for example. It depicts a family hanged from a tree in a way that's eerily realistic. Filmed on actual Super 8 film stock, a vintage format that gives everything a gritty, authentic feel, like watching old family videos turn deadly. These clips are interspersed throughout the movie. To clarify for those new to filmmaking, Super 8 was a popular home movie technology in the 1960s and 70s, known for its small reels and nostalgic grain, which here amplifies the horror. And there's a chilling behind-the-scenes twist. During production, a stunt performer nearly suffered a real-life accident while recreating the hanging, making the scene even more unsettling to imagine. While Sinister delivers plenty of standard horror elements, like sudden shocks and eerie atmospheres, its true power lies in those raw Super 8 sequences. Families are shown perishing in heartbreaking, drawn-out ways that linger in your mind long after viewing. These are the film's most brutal segments, cementing its status as a contender for the all-time scariest. For instance, compare it to other disturbing films that stick with you, like the ones discussed in this /film roundup. https:/film.com 199339 disturbing horror movies only watch once. But Sinister stands out for its relentless emotional weight. And now for the science that validates it all. A study by Broadband Choices, a UK-based broadband comparison site, puts Sinister to the test through their Science of Scare project. As covered by Forbes, https:/film.com/site/TravisBean10:/17 What is the scariest movie ever? Well, science now has an answer to that question. 135FC24256A2. They monitored the heart rates of 50 volunteers, watching over 100 hours of horror films. By measuring how much participants' pulses raced, they ranked the top 35 most heart-pounding movies. Spoiler: Sinister claimed the #1 spot, pushing average heart rates from a calm 65 beats per minute up to a frantic 86 BPM. This method makes sense for beginners because heart rate is a straightforward indicator of physiological stress. Essentially, your body's fight or flight response kicking in, which aligns with true fear. Of course, you don't need a lab to feel Sinister's impact. The constant undercurrent of impending doom from those snuff reels, paired with Oswald's subconscious willingness to jeopardize his own family for fame, creates a layered terror that's as psychological as it is visceral. It's a masterclass in horror that doesn't just scare, it probes the darker sides of human nature. As one of the most unsettling genre entries, it's perfect for a Halloween stream on Hulu. But here's the controversial side. Does relying on science to declare a scariest movie overlook the personal, cultural, or emotional factors that make horror subjective? Some might argue that a film's fright factor depends on individual experiences, like past traumas or cultural backgrounds, rather than just a spike on a heart monitor. What do you think? Is Sinister truly the pinnacle of scares, or does your own nightmare fuel differ? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with the study's findings, or does another film take the crown for you? Let's discuss.